So, oftentimes I get people coming to my DM and ask me, wig makers get into my DM and ask me. Sometimes they do their measuring, they do everything right, but when the client gets it, the client either complains that it's too tight or, it's too tight on them. Now, this can be a reason why it's too tight. Every time that I make a wig, I I think to myself that just in case the client wasn't very accurate with their measurement, and also understand that sometimes the cornrows that our clients have under their wig also affects maybe the front to nape measurements that they send to us. For example, if they have big cornrows, it will affect, it would almost appear like their head size gets bigger than if they have really tiny stitch braids or cornrows under their wigs. So one thing I always do, I always tell my students is, when you're adjusting the cap, don't make it too tight. Still give room for allowance like this. Still give a little bit of room. Now this is a mesh cap, so you are certain that it would not overstretch. Now see, still give a little bit of room. You can see that there's no space, but at the same time it's not so tight. Like, yes, I could have still made it tight, like tight, so tight that it would be like this, but because you have to be able to give room for clients. And I started doing this after a client of mine got pregnant and she had to send all her wigs back to me because her head size changed. Like, she could not wear any of her wigs again, even though she had been wearing them before and they fit. So I started doing this, leaving a little space. Now, apart from leaving a little space, another thing that you might be doing is the way you're attacking. Now, if you're attacking, whether your machine or by hand, if you come here, tack, and pick this one, what you are doing is that you are reducing the cap size because you are going past the place that you have folded. What I would advise that you do is that you go directly underneath the place you folded and tack. Directly underneath. So that way you are not pulling excess cap. If you come like this, for example, and you tack, indirectly you're pulling that cap, you're making it tighter. So that's one mistake that you might be making in terms of measurement. So that's something that we'll be talking about in our class as well. Registration is still ongoing. See you in class.